Game started.
J. Schneggy. Okay, e4. How about a Sicilian? Okay. Main line so far. Let's see, normally d4 is played here. Okay, there he goes. I'll take it. And then when he takes back, I play knight f6, attacking the e-pawn. He takes with the queen. Oh, this is a funny line. You can hit the queen immediately with knight to c6. That's a playable line, but he gets a pin. So I think the most precise way to play this is to play a6 first and then knight to c6. So this is a line that's not played that often, but Carlsen played it once, not too long ago. So maybe there's some point to it. It's yeah, it's thought not to be too great for white because white loses a tempo with the queen. But and this a6 move is generally useful, but it's hard to say. It's not like black has a big advantage here or anything. So the question is, what's the rest of the setup look like? I guess I'll go with the dragon setup. Get the bishop here. Leave these solid pawns in the center. Develop my pieces over here. And let's see. If he plays knight g5, he's attacking f7, but I can play e6 at that point. I could go ahead and play e6 immediately, but I think I will wait until I'm forced to. Okay, that stops me from playing bishop to g4, which I wasn't planning to play immediately, but it might have been an idea at some point. But my plan, yeah, was just to develop the knight and castle. Then develop the bishop somewhere. Usually this bishop goes to d7 or e6. Oh, is this sacrifice working? I doubt it. Let's see. He gets one more check with the knight here, but I don't see a big follow-up. Well, you got to take it and find out. Okay, he's just throwing more fuel into the fire. Queen's defended by the rook. That's important. So if he takes, I can take back with a pawn and everything is okay.
Check.
He trades queens. Sacrifices a piece and trades queens. That's an unusual strategy. Usually you want to keep the queens on when you're attacking. Let's see. So let's count the pawns. 4 on 3 over here and 2 on 3 over here. Yeah, so he's just down a whole piece. Of course, my pawn structure is a mess, but being a piece up is fine. Should be completely adequate, and looks like this c-pawn here is hard to defend, the pawn on c2. Okay, so it's a bit of a trade. He's going to take my e-pawn. I'm going to take his c-pawn. Is there anything else here? Some trick, like an attack on the rook. I could defend this pawn too, of course, but I don't know if it's so important. Let's just grab here. When he takes here, I do have some idea. There's a discovered attack with the knight. So where could the knight go? So I'm looking at knight to g4 there. And then he just retreats the rook. Maybe it's not so great. Knight to h5. And then the knight could go to f4 after that. That might be a useful square for the knight. Or what else? Maybe I should just ignore all that and keep developing his knight is not going anywhere great. My bishop is a bit loose there. He can always retreat his rook back to this square. Okay, so I can develop his bishop with a tempo then. Yeah, I'm really undecided. Okay, let's chase the rook away and open up this diagonal for the bishop. Maybe put the other rook on the c file and just take over here. Okay, I have to avoid this move because of the fork. Pawn to g4 forks the knight and the bishop there. So how about here? Seems my king right here is reasonably safe. I don't see any reason to move it away. It's on a light square, so his bishop can't attack it. His knight can't get there immediately, and the rook is not also not attacking it. So I'm just going to leave the king there and try and get my pieces out. Okay, so his rook went back. And here. So rook takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, forks the two rooks. So that's probably the most direct threat here, taking with the rook first. A counter threat on e4, e7 rather. Counter threat on e7. Let's see, if I play pawn to e5, it leaves this hanging. Or pawn to e6, it gives up the exchange here. Let's see, if I just defend with my rook, his knight's not chasing my rook away, right? So I still have the threat of, that was a pre-move. Can I cancel the pre-move? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can cancel it by clicking on it again. Maybe it's not a bad move, but I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so he's attacking the bishop. Let's see. Can take here, and he takes my bishop. I take his rook. Yeah, so it's still safe to take here. But I no longer have that fork trick. So now if I take here, I'm defending the bishop. But well, I don't want to leave this hanging. Let's just bring the knight back. Intercept the pressure on e7 there. And if he tries to go after my bishop, I can retreat my bishop to this square here, or this square here, defending the rook. The knight's not really defending the rook because he can exchange it off at any time. So what can white try now? If we count, yeah, he's still just down a pawn, and he does go after the bishop, right? So is it better to go to b5 or f5? They're about the same. It's almost forces an exchange. Well, I can't say that. He could actually ignore the rook and play rook to e1, doubling on this. So, but this is still adequately defended. Rook takes, rook takes. Rook takes, king takes. So I am okay here. So what should I do? Of course, I'm relying on this knight. Let's see. How about... I should kick the bishop, probably. Get this rook out here. I wanted to play h6, but the bishop can just take it, and I haven't really accomplished much other than giving away a pawn. I guess I could play knight to d5. That's an idea. Hits the rook and the bishop now that he's moved the bishop. Defends here. I was thinking it'd hit the rook and the pawn, but hitting the rook and the bishop is good, right? Let him have... Oh, what's he going after? Yeah, I don't see any great moves for the bishop here. Aha, I pinned the knight. So let's see, can I get away with this? Knight takes bishop, rook takes rook, and then knight to here forks the two rooks. And everything else is protected. The bishop's protected, the rook's protected, and he has no great way to get out of the fork, right? So this still works. Okay, there we go. So as long as one of these pieces is not escaping with check, I should have, he sacrifices the rook for the bishop. Let's see, I can take this rook or this rook. Which one should I take? I guess this one. And just be a piece up still. This is defended. I should have checked, by the way, before going into the sequence, if he had a move that was a check, and he did have one, but fortunately that square is guarded. That was not entirely precise there, the way I played that. So let's see, if I play rook here, it's threatening a discovered check on the king, which wins the rook. And if the king goes here, that's probably the main move, then, well, then I'll probably move my knight somewhere. Yeah, he just goes there to avoid it. Okay, where does the knight go? Probably have to route it around this way. Rook to d2 is what I want to play. Get on these pawns. Oh, he goes after the knight there. So yeah, I don't have so many squares for the knight, but I have maybe enough. Just enough to get by. And this is nice. This will give me an outpost here for the knight. Once you get a stable square for your minor piece, that helps a lot. I need to win some pawns here. I can't win with rook and knight against rook. That's a draw. So I have to win some pawns and then threaten to queen a pawn and try and win that way. So let's see. Go after this pawn. And if he goes there, I can attack the rook. So he gave up the pawn. If he moved back, then I was going to go after these pawns on the second row there. So he was losing a pawn in any case. That's how you use your extra piece. You win the pawns. And of course trading rooks is an easy win for me as well. Okay, now I got two pawns. And now I'll just start marching these guys. So it should be pretty straightforward from here. Knight has a square on e6 there. d6. Knight has a square on d6 that I can settle on as I push these
White
pawns
resigns.
forward. Okay, he resigned. Yeah, I was just going to push these pawns forward, and should be a straightforward win. Okay, I'm going to upload this and do a postmortem. I thought there were some interesting tactics there. See you guys later. Bye.